Morning, little Recon One maintenance today. I'll be ordering some shims to correct my camber. I have too much negative camber, no big deal, it can be fixed. Just took the cover off the motor. Yeah, she needs a little cleaning, but she's getting fresh filter oil. You can see I got some ATF plus 4. I'll be draining the transfer case. Second or third time, and some might say, wow, man, the vehicle only has 44,000 miles, but it sees a lot of hard usage. This vehicle gets so many oil changes and fluid changes, and quite honestly, I'm completely happy with it. No problem. It's running good, so stay tuned. Yeah, I use a pick tool. You can see it right there. I take the old O-ring off. You can see precisely where it goes. I take a little residual oil. I put it on the new O-ring. Snap the oil filter in till you hear a click, and then you can pop it right over and put it right back in. It's in the oil filter cooler assembly. For those of you who are familiar with the problematic oil filter cooler assembly, you don't want to be Hercules on this. I use my left hand. I'm right-handed. I use my left-handed, and just when I feel that thing bottom out, I give it an eighth of a turn, and that's a wrap. You don't want to put any extra crazy pressure on that plastic assembly. We know what can happen. Well, what's going on underneath the Jeep? Well, you can see because of my armor here, then I've got another second piece of armor over the oil pan. You can see I've caved this in quite a bit, just gently touching the other piece of armor. That's unfortunate, but basically there's a cover. This is a rock hard 4x4 system, and there's a 1/4-inch steel plate right here. You remove a 9/16 bolt, a cover comes down, and then it accesses the drain plug. So you can see it's done just fine. Same thing with that drain plug. I've had several of my Jeep vehicles have this thing strip out. I've replaced several of them, so I just recommend just you know, get it where it seats and a little 1/4 turn and call it a day. Okay, for what it's worth, in Recon One, first of all, I'm happy to say that it's always had synthetic motor oil in it, and it takes 5W20. I ran, probably for the first half of its life, I ran Mobil 1, never had a problem. Recently, I switched over to the Pennzoil 5W20. You can see this is a platinum full synthetic. It boasts 15,000 miles, but quite honestly, this Jeep never sees more than 3,000 miles with an oil change. Call me crazy, but again, it idles for hours and hours. It gets high RPMs on the trail. And what's interesting about this oil, let's see, yeah, formulated to meet that MS number. And there it is right there, MS6395, which is what the owner's manual says it likes to see in the oil. So anyway, that's what I've been running. I run this on Recon 2. I run this in the wife's Grand Cherokee and also the Jeep Compass. Now, what's interesting is the Grand Cherokee, which isn't here right now, has a 3.6 in it as well, but that is spec'd out at 0W20, and I hate that motor oil. The viscosity is like water. And unfortunately, the Jeep Compass also is 0W20. And how interesting that both those vehicles that spec out 0W20 will tend to have some oil disappear, you know, anywhere from a 1/4 of a quart. So the vehicles with the 5W20, no oil consumption in any way or form. The two vehicles that run 0W, after a few 3,000-4,000 miles, you'll check the dipstick and see that a 1/4 of a quart of oil has disappeared. So for what it's worth, it's kind of interesting. There you go. That's nice. Perfectly clean oil, right where she wants. 6 quarts of oil in the 3.6. Okay, due to the nature that I moved this battery over, you might recall there were some plugs here that I had to lift up. I felt there was just too much tension on this engine cover, so I very carefully took the insulator, moved it inboard, and then cut a beautiful rectangle right there, so it fits perfect right now. You can see the cut right there, no big deal. The insulator's still in place, works really nice, no problem. There you go. Gonna give a shout out to Black 5, Dan. He found a nice little spot and a way to really shine some light on the engine if you ever had to work on it at night using the traditional rock lights that we use. Really happy with that mount. Covers the engine bay perfectly. Everyone's different, but this is what I do to track down the various things, my oil changes, upgrades, problems, solutions. Pretty wild. I mean, everything. Well, let's see. So at 41,991, or excuse me, 41,991, we had an oil change. At 42,000 miles, we put the new RPM tie rod in. Now, 41,870 transfer case. Oh, wow. So I just did the transfer case. 41.8. It has 44.4 on it right now. There you go. 2 quarts, ATF plus 4. So we're going to leave that alone. And the fluid that I bought will go in Recon 2, which I'm sure has never been done. And that has 100,000 miles on it. So 41.9, yeah, I'm at 44.4, so less than 3,000 miles. But again, this motor sees hard use. It idles a lot, high RPMs on the trail. I push it, it's off camber, it's going up big hills. So what I like to do is just record the date and the mileage and the oil change. Well, boys, it's Thursday morning. Just got home from work. Just gave Recon 1 an oil change. I noticed the rubber boot had slid back off the front drive shaft on that Adams. Very common thing. So I've been trying to tap that bitch back on. Gonna rotate the tires on Recon 2 today. I'm gonna be ordering very soon some offset shims. I'm putting 1 degree on this side, 2 degrees on the passenger side. Then I'll readjust the tie rod, get my toe right, put the stabilizer back on. I was gonna do the transfer case, and then I looked in my logbook and I just did the transfer case fluid 1,500 miles ago. So the ATF 4 that I bought, I'll do the transfer case on Recon 2, as I'm sure that's never been changed. And I just hit 100,000 miles on that. So tire rotation. Notice the fronts are getting a little cupped, very common. So gonna swap them out. Inspect the brake pads, etc. Just give her a little once over, but run really well. Cheap brake pads, a lot of brake dust. Look at that. Wow. Damn. We'll get some better brake pads. These fronts are almost toast anyway. Wow, look at that. All right, sadly, it looks like front and rear pads are going to have to be changed really soon, probably within the next couple of thousand miles. So that's okay. I mean, since I've gotten this Jeep back after Tony rebuilt the transmission, I've already put 6,500 miles on it. So it's time to rotate the tires. It's already gotten another oil change. Going to be doing the transfer case here shortly. And I'm using the compressor from Recon 1 with the air attachment and just getting a lot of that brake dust out of the rotors and the caliper and so forth. Looks like the last set of brakes were kind of cheapo brakes because they don't seem to have lasted very long and they gave off a lot of brake dust. Okay, so if you're gonna do the transfer case, you can see you got to remove the transfer case skid plate. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. I'll use the gun. Drop this down. Then basically you got, I think, an Allen wrench. You got the fill plug is up here. When I remove the skid plate, you'll see the drain plug. Drain this bitch out. I got 2 new quarts. I got a little pumping mechanism that threads onto each quart of ATF plus 4. And you pump it on in there till it starts oozing out. It's about 2 quarts. Okay, 20 seconds later, skid plate is removed. Drain plug, fill plug. Looks like it's a 3/8 inch Allen. I'll go check that. Get my my drain pan out here and open her up and let her go. Just inspecting that Rosetta joint right there. Seems like it's okay. Don't forget, this drive shaft was taken out Obviously this transfer case was taken out because the transmission was rebuilt. Okay, this is the key. I got a couple of these. They come with different stems. This one will reach to the actual bottom of the 1 quart Mopar ATF plus 4 bottle. So that'll work out good. So I'm just getting things set up. I got the drain plug. I got the Allen wrench. It was a 3/8 of an inch Allen. Just getting this stuff set up. I'll get some rags and we'll drain this thing. You can see it's no big deal. I just about got this drain plug out right here. Whoa, there she goes. I mean, why not change it, right? Okay, you can see the drain plugs there, the fill plug. Zoom in there so you can see them. Okay, so she's drained out. I'm going to put the drain plug cap back in. Then I'm going to set up my little pump and manually pump 2 quarts of ATF plus 4. Bought the Mopar stuff. I think I paid about $15 a quart. Kind of pricey. Yeah. I could be wrong on that. No, maybe that was the 80-90 oil that I bought. But anyway, all that Mopar stuff is costly. But 2 quarts, ATF plus 4. So let's get the cap in on this thing and fill it back up. Big deal. I thread on my Harbor Freight pump. Little hand pump. Threads right on. Put the end of that hose in the fill cap and start plugging away. Again, it comes with 2 extensions. You want the longest one to reach the bottom of the bottle. So here we go. Okay. 1 quart in. Yeah, shit, probably 50, 75 pumps, but she'll pump it in. I'll prep the second one. Oh. Bottle number 2. Get that hose in there. Yeah, I think I paid $5 or $6 for a couple of these hand pumps. These are really good for the transfer case, and they're also really good if you have to add any 80-90 oil into your differential, you know. Probably about 3/4 of the way there. We'll fill this thing up, and then I should, as I finish the 2 quarts, it should just start oozing out of the opening for the fill. Gaining on it. Nice, she's just starting to ooze out of there. For the skid plate, get that skid plate installed. Easy peasy. Nice. Okay, Recon 1, pretty good shape. Gonna order up those shims to fix the negative camber that I have. Recon 2, rotated the tires, inspected the brakes. Basically need brakes all the way around. Blew out all the shitty brake dust and so forth. I had just given this an oil change. Recon 1 got an oil change. Recon 2 got a transfer case fluid changed. ATF plus 4, 2 quarts. So that's good. I think that's a wrap for today.